Sudanese refugee women in northeastern Central African Republic, CAR, face an increasing risk of dying in childbirth as cuts to U.S. funding hit already fragile maternity services, aid agencies have warned. Tens of thousands of people have fled fighting in Sudan's Darfur region into CAR's remote Vakaga province, overwhelming a health system that was struggling even before the new arrivals. CAR is among the countries with the highest maternal mortality rates in the world, and the influx has stretched the few functioning facilities to breaking point, humanitarian agencies say.
Nairobi, Kenya. When I walked away from a career in law and moved into what is now called content creation, the intention was simple: to share my art. At the time, photographers in Nairobi were known for their work, their shooting style, subject matter, and sometimes even the cameras they used.
United States President Donald Trump says Israel and Hezbollah have agreed to halt attacks following indirect talks through intermediaries. Posting on Truth Social on Monday, Trump said he had spoken with both Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and, through highly placed representatives, Hezbollah.
At least 5 people have been killed in Israeli attacks in southern Lebanon, Lebanese state media report, hours after United States President Donald fighting that neither Israel nor the Lebanese group Hezbollah has publicly accepted. The official national news agency, NNA, said on Tuesday that 2 Syrians were killed in an Israeli attack on a plant nursery where they were working in the town of Jebchit in Nabati Governorate.
British Foreign Secretary Yvette Cooper is the latest senior official in a steady stream of world leaders visiting China this year. During her 3-day trip this week, Cooper is expected to meet her Chinese counterpart Wang Yi and Vice President Han Zheng in Beijing before traveling to the southern tech hub of Shenzhen for a program focused on science and technology. Impulse Space, a startup founded by SpaceX engine guru Tom Mueller to build highly maneuverable spacecraft, announced a $500 million Series D this week that it will use to hire as many as 200 new employees. The round, led by 137 Ventures and Banner VC, with participation from Founders Fund, Lux Capital and Linsa Capital, reflects investor interest in space and defense tech as the U.S. government hurls cash at national security problems and SpaceX gears up for its IPO.
ASUS has launched the new ASUS Pad, marking its return to the mainstream tablet market after several years. The launch comes months after the company shifted away from new smartphone development, with 9 to 5 Google reporting in January that ASUS would no longer make new Android smartphones as it focused more on AI-related products. The ASUS Pad features a 2-inch dual-layer OLED display with a 2800 by 1840 resolution, a 3:2 aspect ratio, and a 144 Hz refresh rate, according to ASUS.
Pakistan has facilitated thousands of its citizens, as around 24,000 Pakistanis working illegally in Spain have reportedly secured a pathway to legal residency under a Spanish regularization scheme. To support the process, authorities sent 8,000 passports, 24,000 character certificates and 10,000 affidavits, helping applicants meet documentation requirements before the deadline.
10 Pakistani sailors have been held hostage by Somali pirates aboard the oil tanker MT Honor 25 for more than 42 days as negotiations continue for their release. According to reports, the crew is surviving in harsh conditions, relying on boiled rice and contaminated water with limited access to medical supplies.
ASUS has introduced the ROG Xbox Ally X20 bundle at Computex as a special edition handheld package celebrating 20 years of its Republic of Gamers brand. The bundle includes the upgraded ROG Xbox Ally X20 and the ROG X Real R1 Edition 20 gaming AR glasses. The handheld brings 2 major upgrades over the earlier ROG Xbox Ally X model: a larger OLED display and new TMR joysticks designed to resist stick drift. However, ASUS is offering the device as part of a bundle, and pricing has not been announced yet. Pakistan on Tuesday won the toss and chose to bowl against Australia in their second one-day international ODI match being played in Lahore. Shaheen Afridi and Josh Inglis were present at the toss, with the former opting to bowl first at Lahore's Gaddafi Stadium.
European luxury brands have sharpened their focus on the United States, with a surge of store openings and fashion shows to lure a new crop of wealthy shoppers enriched by the AI and tech boom and offset weak consumer confidence in the rest of the world. The luxury goods sector was showing signs of stabilization until the Iran war that denting luxury spending far beyond the Middle East. Denting luxury spending far beyond the Middle East.
US pop star Sabrina Carpenter has been granted a temporary restraining order against a man following a series of what she called deeply alarming incidents at her home. In court documents seen by the BBC's US partner CBS, lawyers for Carpenter said she was seeking a full court order against William Applegate, who she alleges tried to force his way into her house in Los Angeles last month, turned twice more.
Tehran, Iran. Iran's leadership has not closed the door on a potential deal with the United States. But more hawkish voices on both sides are pushing for demands that are making any understanding elusive. More than 3 months after the start of the war, Washington and Tehran are yet to agree on how to handle international transit through the Strait of Hormuz, following Iran's insistence on controlling the waterway and the US blockade of Iran's ports. It is also unclear if the two sides can reach a longer-term deal on nuclear enrichment and the buried, highly enriched uranium in Iran, or on the lifting of US and United Nations sanctions on Iran.
Civil immigration enforcement will not take place at FIFA World Cup games or events in Los Angeles, federal officials have told Los Angeles County Sheriff Robert Luna following protests by a union representing stadium workers over fears of anti-immigrant crackdowns. Outlining security plans for the 8 World Cup fixtures in Los Angeles, Luna said on Monday that officials from the United States Immigration and Customs Enforcement IC will not be deployed in the city during the tournament.
Pacific Fusion took the wraps off its latest Pulsar module prototype on Tuesday, a piece of equipment that allows the company to move ahead with its demonstration fusion power plant. Construction on the fusion power plant is expected to begin this summer. Results from the shipping container-sized prototype were good enough to unlock another tranche of Pacific Fusion Series A round, which exceeds $1 billion, the company exclusively told TechCrunch. The company did not disclose the size of the tranche. Pacific Fusion is among the best-funded fusion startups.
5G services have been launched in 22 cities across Pakistan, according to the Pakistan Telecommunication Authority, PTA. The information came from PTA officials who informed the National Assembly Standing Committee on Information Technology and Telecommunications during a meeting chaired by Syed Amin-ul-Haq.
The Capital Development Authority, CDA board, has approved a 1-year extension of its agreement with the National Database and Registration Authority, NADARA, to continue transparent electronic balloting for the allotment of plots to effectees in various sectors of Islamabad. The decision was taken during a board meeting following the presentation of a summary by the member estate. Under the approved decision, the CDA will execute Addendum Number 6 to the original agreement signed with NADRA in March 2016. The extension is aimed at facilitating the allotment process for affectees in sectors D13, E13, F13, C14, C15 and other areas through NADRA's automated e-balloting system, which is designed to eliminate human intervention and ensure transparency.
Security forces foiled a suicide attack by Fitna al-Khawarij on a military post near Miranja in Khyber Pakhtunkhwa's North Waziristan district, security sources said on Tuesday. Fitna al-Khawarij is a term the state uses for terrorists belonging to the banned Tehreek-i-Taliban Pakistan.
My name is Ozymandias, King of Kings. Look on my works, ye mighty in despair. Nothing beside remains. Round the decay of that colossal wreck, boundless and bare, the lone and level sands stretch far away. I am in blood, stepped in so far that, should I wade no more, returning were as tedious as go o'er. 2 people have been shot dead in the central Kenyan town of Nanyuki amid protests against US plans to establish an Ebola isolation centre at a military base by, the BBC has learnt. One of the victims was shot in an area close to the Laikipia air base where a demonstration was taking place. He died after being brought to the town's hospital by friends. Kenya's High Court has ordered the government to disclose details of a proposed United States-linked Ebola quarantine facility. A day after hundreds of people took to the streets in the central town of Nanyuki to protest about the planned site. The Reuters news agency said 2 people died from gunshot wounds during Monday's unrest, citing protest organiser Patrick Wahome and a security source.
Microsoft has introduced the Surface Laptop Ultra, a new premium Surface PC powered by NVIDIA's RTX Spark superchip. The laptop was announced around NVIDIA's Computex keynote and is expected to launch later this year. The Surface Laptop Ultra expands Microsoft's Windows on ARM push beyond Qualcomm-powered Surface devices. It is also one of the first laptops built around NVIDIA's new RTX Spark platform, which targets local AI, creator workloads, and gaming.
The Punjab government has extended the enforcement of Section 144 across the province, maintaining a complete ban on flying drones in open areas for another 30 days due to security concerns. According to a statement issued by the Punjab Home Department, the restriction on outdoor drone operations will remain in effect under Section 144 of the Code of Criminal Procedure 1898.
Samsung is expected to launch its next foldable phones in July, and new leaked images have now shown what appears to be the company's rumoured widescreen foldable in real life. Images shared on South Korea's DC Inside community forum show a Samsung foldable phone being used in public, according to B-Bomb Gadgets. The device appears to be covered in a protective anti-leak case, which hides most of the final design.
Bollywood's long-entrenched culture of grueling work schedules is facing rare scrutiny as top actors and filmmakers clash over calls to cap shooting days at 8 hours. The debate gained momentum after leading actor Deepika Padukone reportedly exited a major project last year over a demand for shorter working hours following motherhood, thrusting the issue of work-life balance into the spotlight in India's film industry.
Federal Cabinet has approved the nationwide implementation of a track and trace system for pharmaceutical products across Pakistan. Minister for Health Mustafa Kamal announced on Tuesday, according to an official handout, the system aims to strengthen public health and safeguard citizens from counterfeit medicines.
Based on the behaviour of winds on 7 large and hot gas exoplanets, astronomers have obtained the strongest evidence to date that planets beyond our solar system possess magnetic fields, like Earth and 5 other planets in our solar system. The finding, based on observations by telescopes in Chile and Hawaii, deepens the understanding of exoplanets by showing that important characteristic present in all but 2 of the solar system's 8 planets. Myanmar President Min Aung Hlaing, who is in India on a 5-day visit, has held talks with Prime Minister Narendra Modi, focusing on areas including trade, connectivity, border security and defence. This is his first visit abroad since becoming president earlier this year, and it is being closely watched as a sign of how regional powers intend to engage with Myanmar's military-backed leadership following a widely criticised election and 5 years of civil war triggered by a coup in 2021.
Previous World Cup appearances, 16 best performance. Winners, 1998 21st appearance, 1930 Uruguay top goal scorer, Just Fontaine 13. Most appearances, Hugo Lloris 20 player to watch. Kylian Mbappe FIFA World Ranking. 1. The FIFA World Cup begins on June 11. You can follow the action on Al Jazeera's dedicated World Cup 2026 page with all the latest news, match build-up and live text commentary, and keep up to date with group standings, real-time match results and schedules.